Welcome viewers, this is your host Nurse Roslyn Odhiambo on Skills versus the Midwife. We are glad to have you back so that you can complete this section where we are now going to tackle the charting of the patogram. So therefore we want to encourage all of us once again to always make reference to our books. We have the Miles textbook for midwifery of the midwives and also the Nursing Council of Kenya procedure manual. So we want to get started immediately, and we have a scenario today that we are going to use to chart our patogram. So let's follow together, and I'll turn back so that you're able to look at our chart here. So this scenario starts us off where we're being told the name of the client, and the client is called Saba, and we are also being told that she's para 2 class 0 gravida 3, and the hospital number is 7886. Date of admission is 19 of February 2023, and time of admission is at 5 a.m. We are also given the scenario to include membranes having ruptured, and we are told that the difference between the time of admission and the time that the membranes ruptured is 1 hour, because the membranes ruptured at 4 a.m. So 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. that is a difference of 1 hour. Okay. Cervical dilatation was at 5 centimeter, and the descent is 3/5. Descent is 3/5, and cervical dilatation is 5 a.m. So this is 5 centimeter. Look at the 5 centimeter mark. Okay, so come along with the 5 centimeter mark up to the alert line. Remember our lines, the action and the alert line, and drop down from the alert line up to where we have the time. So once you are in this section where we have the time, then you write the time of admission, which is 5 a.m. which is 5 a.m. I hope we are together. Then we are being told that the descent is 3/5 per abdomen. And if we do it per abdomen, if it is 3/5, then it simply means 3 parts of the fetal presenting part are still not descended, and therefore 2 parts have descended. So this is a descent that is translated to be 2/5 per vagina. So what are we going to indicate here? Our descent is 3/5 per abdomen, but 2/5 per vagina. So therefore we are going to come down how many times, because 2 parts are already in. So we are going to literally count from the highest point, that is 5, and go 2 parts in. So we are going to say 1 part in, 2 parts in, and we are going to chart our descent, remember, on the same line. So we are going to chart our descent there. Okay, this is our cervical dilatation. Look at that. We are using an X and we are using a circle to chart the descent. We have 3 contractions in 10 minutes. We have 3 contractions in 10 minutes, each lasting 20 to 40 seconds. 3 contractions in 10 minutes. So the same, you are dropping with your imaginary line to the contraction section. All right, so this is where we are. So we have 3 contractions in 10 minutes, and each one of them is lasting 20 to 40 seconds. So what did we say contractions lasting 20 to 40 seconds are? You're correct, moderate contractions. So we are going to chart 3 moderate contractions within 10 minutes. So here we are, within 10 minutes. Total heart rate is 120 beats per minute. So this is 120 beats per minute. And then membranes have ruptured, amniotic fluid is clear. So come down to the amniotic fluid section. Let's drop down in the same line. Here is the section for amniotic fluid. So they are clear, right, as C. So at this point, amniotic fluid have ruptured, yes, and they are clear. And then the sutures of the skull bones are opposed. So if they are opposed, remember what we say, that is degree what? That is degree 1. So you put 1 plus there. Okay, that is sutures are opposed. Let's continue. Blood pressure is 120/70. So let's drop down with our imaginary line all the way down to where the blood pressure is. Here is where the blood pressure is. So we are being told that the blood pressure is 120/70. I hope we are together. So our 120 is here. 120 is here. So put an arrow up like that. And then 120/70. Look for where the 70 mark is. Here is the 70 mark. Put another arrow facing down, and then draw a line in between the 2 arrows. Okay, so 120/70. Then we have temperature of 36.8. So this is the temperature section, and I hope we are all there together. Temperature section, here we are. So we write 36, the same imaginary line. So 36.8. Let's proceed. We have pulse. Pulse is 80 beats per minute. So look for where pulse is. This is the pulse section, and this is 80. So come along with the pulse and indicate a dot there. So that is our pulse. I hope we are together. Then urine output is 200 ml, and there is negative protein and acetone. So you have 200 ml of urine. So come down here. Okay, I hope we are together. We are moving to the urine section, and the volume is 200 ml. Then we have acetone, which is absent, so you can indicate nil, and nil protein. Let's now chart the contractions. Let's plot the contractions on the patogram. So at 5:30, remember this is 5 a.m. and then immediately, so let's write the hours. So this is 6, this is 7, this is 8, 9, 10, 11. So you continue like that. Every big box represents 1 hour. So at 5:30, okay, at 5:30 we have fetal heart rate of 120. All right, 5:30 is here. We have fetal heart rate of 120. So fetal heart rate is 120. Contractions, three contractions in 10 minutes, and each lasts 30 seconds. And then the pulse is 80. Pulse is 80. Remember, pulse is also taken every half hourly. So move down. This is 5:30. Let's move down and chart the pulse. All right. So pulse is 80. There we are. At 6 a.m. What are the parameters at 6 a.m.? We have 136, that is fetal heart rate, 136 beats per minute. So go upwards until where you reach 136 and put chart over there. And then we continue with those parameters at that time. Then we have contractions, 3 in 10, contractions 3 in 10, and each one of them are lasting. Okay, so remember, this is what time? This is 6. Each one of them are lasting 30 seconds. Those are moderate contractions. And then the scenario continues on. We have pulse of 88 beats per minute. So drop down. Remember, pulse is also done in within 30 minutes. So we have 88. Look for 88 and chart your pulse over there. And at 6:30 we have fetal heart rate of 140. Right, this is 6:30. We have fetal heart rate of 140 as shown above. Then we have 3 contractions in 10 minutes that are moderate. Here we are. We also have a pulse of 86 beats per minute. Then the charting continues on, and at 7 we have fetal heart rate, 7 a.m. We have fetal heart rate of 130 beats per minute. Then the contraction is still moderate as charted below, and there are 3 in 10 minutes. And then they also, they last 40 seconds. The pulse is 88 as charted below. At 8:30 a.m., here it is, the fetal heart rate, 8:30 a.m., the fetal heart rate is at 130 beats per minute. Here we are. And then the contractions now, in this case, they are 4. 8:30, we have 4 contractions in 10 minutes, which last 45 seconds. So this is a strong contraction, as you can see here, and we have 4 of them. So we are charting 4 contractions going upwards, 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are contractions, and as you can see, we are charting with a total shading inside the boxes. So you chart the 4 of them and you completely shade, and the pulse is 88 as charted below. Then we have at 9 a.m. This is 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. viewers, let's take note. At 9 a.m. is when we are going to have our next vaginal exam, because this is 4 hours later. We have a fetal heart rate of 140 as charted above there. Then the contractions are also very strong, and they are lasting 45 seconds, and there are actually 4 of them. So you can see we have shaded 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we also have at this point the temperature. First of all, remember we have done another 2 hours at 9 a.m. which is 37 degrees Celsius. All right, so you can see the pattern of temperature to be 2 hourly. All right, just as we had discussed. This is 10 centimeter cervical dilatation, and this is 9 a.m. So we are going to chart. Put your X mark at 10 centimeter dilatation at 9 a.m. So 9 a.m. we have 10 centimeter dilatation. This is our second VE that we are performing, and the descent at this point in time is complete. Okay, so come here, put your circle there to indicate descent. All right, so the amniotic fluid still at 9 a.m. this is our second VE is clear, so we are going to write clear or chart C there. And then what about the sutures? At this point in time, the sutures are still a post. We are going to write a plus. Then what about blood pressure? We have still at the 9 a.m. point, we are dropping down with our imaginary line of the 9 a.m. and we are going to chart the blood pressure. Remember, we said the blood pressure is also charted 4 hourly, so we have 100/70. So come to the 100 mark there, put an arrow and the 70 mark there, and then join the two. Okay, then the urine output at this point in time, initially 4 hours earlier it was 200 ml. At this point in time we have 150 ml. So the urine output is 150 ml at 9 a.m. and protein and acetone is also negative. So we are just going to indicate nil and nil at this point in time. I hope we are together. Okay, so now our chart looks like this far, and therefore we need to now complete this patogram, and as we complete, she delivered at 9:20. So if this is 9 and this is 9:30, then it means 9:20 is just slightly behind, okay, somewhere here. So we are going to move, this is our imaginary line. Okay, so this woman delivered at 9:20. Let me put a mark there, then I'll show you how we are going to complete this patogram. Our scenario, she was fully dilated at 9 a.m., but she delivered at 9:20 a.m. So where do we draw that line? The line will be drawn at the point where that woman delivered. So this is what we are going to do. Follow with me closely. So we are going to draw our imaginary line, and this is part of what we do when we are completing our patogram. So your patogram will look very neat, very neatly done when you finish and you draw your line from top to bottom. And this line is important because it will alert the next person, okay? It will alert the next person who is coming to take over in care of that client, not to add any form of notes or any other information as opposed to the one that you've put on the patogram. So this is a very safe strategy, and it's part of what is required of all the nurses and midwives who work in labor ward. So once you finish monitoring your client, then you need to put a line to complete the patogram. One more thing we need to do before we finalize this is to join all the descents we have and all the cervical dilatations we have to form a shape that looks like a trapezium. Follow me. So this is what we are going to do. So we are going to form or to draw a shape that looks exactly like a trapezium to join all the descents and all the cervical dilatations. So our patogram will look nice and neatly done. This is what I'm talking about. And then as for the fetal heart rate, all these dots that we had charted to represent the fetal heart rate will also be joined, okay, neatly like that. Join all of them like that, okay. And also the pulse, remember the pulse for the mother, join them also to look as neat as this. Beautiful. Then we have been told in the scenario that this woman delivered at 9:20 a.m. to a live female infant weighing 2.85 kilograms. to 0.5885 kilograms. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think we come to the end. Doesn't it look good? Otherwise, join us in other sessions as we prepare to learn more. Thank you.